How's it going, everybody? Hope y'all are doing well. This isn't a good idea, but I wanted to stream, so I'm gonna try to get a stream out for you guys. I just realized I didn't even like my own posts. It's weird, but yeah. As you can probably tell, I'm sick. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I got sick and I had to call out of work because of it. So I thought, why not get a little stream going? You know, get some calm going. 2.5 hours maybe. So some light sunlight. And excuse me, might hear me cough or sneeze a little bit, so pardon that, or pardon me if you do hear that. But yeah, so completely forgot what I was gonna say again. Yeah, I'll be continuing The Greatest Attorney. It's been like 3 days since the last video, so hope you all are enjoying that one. It's not performing great, can't lie, so I might have to change the thumbnail and the title as well, so I can get that back on track, because it's definitely underperforming compared to like other videos in comparison. But we'll try to fix that. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. At the end of the day, not every video can pop off, so it's just the nature of the game, right? But yeah, so The Greatest Attorney. Let's see how far we get. I think this game will be done in like 2 streams probably. That's why I'm taking this chance to stream now. If I finish it beforehand, then oh well. I mean, I didn't expect to, but it is what it is. That's just the nature of it. But I don't think I'm going to like 9 like this stream. I don't think so. Yeah, so let's continue. There you go. Order, order. Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand. There you go. Just to make sure. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, that's all good. I presume you heard the defense counsel summation examination. Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov. I did. Mr. Skulkin. Core, blimey! It's gonna be hard work. Early in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windabanks. Well, it was Bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out my Lucy lockets. However, that was a lie. You brothers. Core, blimey. On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. We never done nothing of the sort. Oh, how'd you figure that out? You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time, you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, Gov, we hear ya. Oh, blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach. Illegal entry. The whole truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff were flying. Lummy didn't have Sorry, it's a lot of like accent. Lummy, you didn't have to give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter would come out the door and get us next. We saw everything but we found it scappered. Straight into him in the back. In the black, wow. We could have shot the pawnbroker. We couldn't shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we? His chin looks crazy. Like, So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Winterbeck's countertop in the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash. That's right. It's more like we tidied up. Yeah. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. I sound so bad, but it is what it is, man. We ball. Sounds so chopped. We don't, Nash. We don't. Can't make us sound a bit more cutthroat. Can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Winterbeck's that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. I wanna fly right now. I wanna see all my homies get down. We did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nash, we ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good. Well said, Ringo, me old China. We'd only land ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact, now, as a result of you lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landing yourselves in even more trouble. That's rotten luck. Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses. Explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? We never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied up the place. Sorry. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Hold it! So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things over, all things off the counter. Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This big bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was La, alright? Blimey, maybe that granny would have woken up at that bang. Big Brovia screamed like a blooming baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick and some skull whatnot. I got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked them scales on the floor? Really, that's still working quietly then. What a racket. My gummy would have been scared back into her grave at a clatter like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. And then some. I mean, it's... You realize that's what he sounded like? That's cool. And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, then all of a sudden, BOM! Where is it?
Excuse me!
Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with those scoundrels. No, something to add about their testimony. You seem to react just now what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I won't even bother to mention it. Only, well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? As you know, we brought these fellows into the yard for questioning last night. And the statement they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot. Might have, Gov, might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it. Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? If I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy. We'll get it right this time. That's it, yep. It's not coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement your testimony with whatever details that miraculously return to your questionable minds, sirs. What you are, Gov? Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!"
Hold it!
So in fact you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously. We did, Gov, we did. Although I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun. Bah! Kind of thing. A career in acting tragically missed. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side of the door behind the counter it was. From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windermere. On Granny's life, of course it was. On his Granny's life, of course it was. So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Winderbeck and the sound of his voice. So that would mean what? What, Nash? What? Any ideas? Yes, Counsel. Indeed it would. No. We didn't know the geezer. Oh, am I supposed to deny it when that bloke and all the fancy clobber are giving us the evil eye? If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true. On my granny's life it is. On his granny's life it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. What a sentence, wow. To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of a victim, you then hear a gunshot. causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them all on the shop floor. You make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget we tidied up after good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it. The bloke what owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Wow, so.
Hold it!
He's saying that Mr. Windenberg had a gun in his hands. Oh yeah, bet that was a sutter. Them two waving them guns at each other must have gotten pretty heated. I mean, just before we shouted, we heard the geezer say, "If you don't want to get shot." Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Windenberg was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That's someone being himself, of course. Good grief! Extraordinary devotion, indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person who was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. May wish she squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun." And it was directly after those words that he heard the gunshot. It was more or less at the same time, Guff. "Give me that gun!" Kind of thing. Yes. A career in acting very tragically missed. Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went dead quiet. After that, we'd done a slapdash job tidying the place up. Lummy, you didn't have to give me a fright. We were thinking the shooter come out the door and get us next. So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not on your life. It went deathly quiet after that, it did. Put the wind right out me. But anyway, the door was locked, wasn't it? No way that was opening. Yes, of course. It was off on the inside, or so we've been led to believe. It was, Gov, it was, from the inside. What, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like, through the keyhole, or a spy hole, perhaps. Don't ring no bells, don't light no lights. We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day, we really cut the mustard. Please, cut it out. But as we know, by that door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes. Unfortunately. Gina was in there unconscious with a gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right, Golf, that's right. I couldn't have even if we wanted to. We stuck everything back when we found it and scampered straight into him in the block.
Hold it!
Yes. Whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Scholes. Well, yeah, we was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was always shaking like a leaf when you turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Good advice, miss, good advice. Truth be told, me mind went completely blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Meant to not made, miss. Meant to not made, miss. After that, we legged it down the street, but apparently we looked dodgy to the coppers or something, so they clapped the derbies on us like, yo, this slang is so funny, bro. Talking about clapping the derbies on our wrists. That's so unique. I really like that. And after you've been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct? Oh, well, yeah. But listen, that proves it done it, eh? We couldn't have shook the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we?
Hold it!
And why should we believe that? What? Because it's true, isn't it? The place was totally empty when we went in. There was no distinction there. At the time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his hand. In other words, on a night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Windibank. Correct? You've got it, mister. Down to a T. So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windibank. Is that really true, I wonder? That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony? What is it, Bruno? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh, but I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. It is nothing more than a feeling, though. I have no proof to support it. Oh, I never noticed that. So I thought that like Iris's gloves and her outfit connected. Like I thought it was one full piece suit or outfit. She has little spaces in between her elbows. It's hard to see, but it's like right here. Right here. It's pretty cool. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry. People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take all that in your brain. You can take all that in and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts. Iris. Thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. I don't get this one. Maybe I'm just not thinking properly, but I'm not seeing what's going on here. First I gotta find cause I'm tempted to just look it up, but I don't want to give in too quickly.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it!
It's easy, sorry. Ah. Okay, so I see. So I see the issue with it here now. So I had to look it up because I was confused here. Well, not had to. I chose to look it up. And the issue is the reenactment. So I was right about looking at the bullet, like the bullet wounds, because it entered through the back. But the way they're reenacting it, the bullet would have gone through his chest, so it would have entered through the front, which is not the case. So I'm supposed to. Yeah, it was this one apparently. Nah, it wasn't that one. It was, where is it? This one's a little confusing, I can't lie. I'm surprised that they expected us to get this one, because I like that line of thinking I can understand. That makes sense. Like, this is the final case, so it's meant to be hard, but it is like a having to present the picture is a little dubious. I can't lie, because it makes sense that it's the visual evidence. It's meant to show like, well, that can't possibly be true because we have a picture right here showing that the entry wound was from the back and not the front. But the problem is that what tells us that it wasn't an entry wound from the front is the autopsy report. So there you go. So let's see how it turns out. I'm not gonna lie, I've never been one to have pride about looking things up in a video game. Granted, I understand why people don't. At the end of the day, it's a game. You're meant to be the one playing it. So by extension, if it's a puzzle game or if it's a mystery game, or I forgot what this genre is called, but a court drama, you're meant to figure it out yourself. But I don't know. I never have pride about that because I'm more just always interested in the story, and like if a puzzle or a logical question is getting in the way of that, I'm not afraid of looking it up because I've always just wanted to digest the story and not really like I'm not. Funny enough, I'm not one to play the games for the gameplay. If the gameplay's really good, then yeah, of course. But like, I've always just enjoyed story. That's why I'm more partial to visual novels than JRPGs. But that's just me. I know my way isn't right or even a viable option. It's just how I've always viewed it, and I don't blame anyone for having pride in the sense of wanting to play the game themselves and not relying on the internet or a guide. Because that's fair, that's completely fair. You bought the game, you want to get everything out of it, even if it means being stuck on something. But for me, it's just like I don't think I would have gotten this. Not because it's unfair, but because I don't believe in my ability that I would have been able to get it. So I'd rather just like get that over with and keep playing because I want to consume the story. But yeah, whether that's a self-confidence issue or not, I don't know. But I'll leave that for another day. I'll leave that discussion for another day. Sorry, let me see. So you're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winterbank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Golf. You got the picture. He has, now she has, no question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows The Mr. Wilderbank was not holding a firearm of any description. Okay, now that makes more sense. The reasoning presented here makes a lot more sense. He never had a gun in the first place. That's why we pull up the picture. I could have gotten that. That makes a lot more sense. I just gave up too quickly. You wore it? Go and bet it. That ain't right.
Objection!
There could be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Winterbeck's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. Yeah, that Moltola. That Moltola used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun. Kind of thing. Stay exactly where you are. Right there. If the crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant consistency. Wow. It would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Goodness. Are you sure, counsel? You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim. And this is where it comes up. Where is the proof that demonstrates the inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments?
Take that!
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by a gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. You know, it's crazy when this isn't, I think it is this theme, I don't remember. Naruto's theme is a little, I don't remember, like, I think it's in the title screen, but I think this is like Pursuit or something like that. I forgot what it was. But it's the good honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. When we were shot that night, the shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes. Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Winterbank holding a gun. Something like that might have slipped. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses. On the night in question, they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim wielding a gun. Interesting. Okay. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash? Order! Witnesses, explain yourselves at once. Well, the thing is, we're supposed to, it would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that I made it clear that false witness would be the death of you. But I understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies. Look, I'm so sorry, Governor. Truth is, cut it out, Nash, cut it out. If you blab now, you know what it'll do to us. What are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There's no other option available to you. Bruv, come on. The game's up. But you'll have our guts for gutters. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On the night in question, it is not apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. And I managed to testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, do we have to? On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Encounter with the victim. Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it. For an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter. I pulled my gun on him and then he legged it through the door into the back room. We never had nothing to do with the killing him. That's all what happened, I swear. So you're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. Oh, well, yes, sorry. Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But honest, Governor, this time, Nash, we ain't got nothing more to hide. Very well. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this. Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug.
Hold it! When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and proprietor of the shop, Mr. Winterbank. Who? Sorry, I mean, that's right. He was keeping a close eye on the entrance to the gaff, obviously. But we never thought no one was gonna come out of the back room like that. Excuse me, sorry. The back room being the pawnbrokery storeroom. Yeah, that must be where he popped up from. Only place he could have been. So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises. Which means she must have been in there at that point as well. But it doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Winterbank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know. Did you see the accused at the time? What, that Moltula? Couldn't tell you. No way, Kaba. We had a bigger fish to fry then. I mean, the old geezer just lost it. Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we had it.
Hold it!
You mentioned that Mr. Winterbank shouted those words in your previous testimony too. However, you claimed that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door. Uh-oh. Did we? But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he? Oh, yeah. Was the victim, Mr. Winterbank, holding a gun at the time? Was he ever, blimey lummy, a great ugly barrel he had, put it straight at my front piece? So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Winterbank with a gun at the time, isn't that right? It is, Gov, it is, spot on. Then all of a sudden he came at us, he did. It was Badlam, I didn't know who was going for him, or who was going for who. We were clearly all going for each other. Like Nasha, we all thought we had it. I mean, for an old geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter. Yes, I know that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too. Well, yeah, of course we did. He knocked over a lot of books and kind of stuck in some skull whatnot. They got tangled in some marionette. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked them scales on the floor? So in fact, it wasn't the sound of a gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter. Well, Big Browfie went flying over that counter like a gunshot, I can tell you. Hidioki's a pinned him. He did, Nash, he did. If he hadn't been there, the block would have flattened me like a blooming pancake in seconds. At the time in question, the alarm was raised to the local police station via secret cable from the pawn brokery. There's a button under the counter used to activate it, which is presumably pressed by the victim. That's right. When the brothers fled the scene and back onto the street, they ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they? Poor Mr. Winterbank. He did everything he could to protect his shop. Upon me got on him and then he legged it through the door into the back room.
Hold it!
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Winterbank? No, never. I was just, you know, looking out for me brown for it. He was being flattered, don't forget. By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed the gun at him, is that it? Yeah, that's it. He shoved me away, then ran off through that door and shot himself in. Something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true. Well, Mr. Winterbank ran away into the storeroom. What? Well, according to what everyone's saying, Genie was in there waiting for him with a gun. Yes, that's right. Genie allegedly used Mr. Winterbank's gun to threaten him and force him into the storeroom. In which case, how'd the gun end up in Mr. Winterbank's hands again? I have no idea. That is strange, isn't it? So the consistency could be significant. Should make a mental note of it. Look, the point is, me and me bruv here. That's right, Dash, that's right. Me and me bruv here. We never had nothing to do with the killing him. That's not what happened, I swear.
Hold it!
You say he had nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. It's already almost been an hour. Nothing, Gov, nothing. The old weasel went and shot himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was from the inside. We knew it was, because we tried to open it. Why would you try to open it? That's a decent door, that one. Good and strong, wouldn't budge an inch. So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom at the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade. Wouldn't it appear so? What say you to that, counsel? I don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could possibly have shot Mr. Winterbank? Mr. Skulkin. What? What's that look for? From the moment you admitted that you encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial has changed completely. It did? What is your point, my learned friend? The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Winterbank. It is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in a storeroom which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts, so pray, what the possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be? Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect to two conundrums. Two, my lord? Twice as many chances to be right, maybe? Indeed, namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood, my lord. You alright, Urno? Not entirely sure, but there's one thing I'm sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. Oh wow, I didn't read that out loud. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on his plan the answer to the questions posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired the gun.
Take that!
The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. And an answer to the second question. Assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time?
Take that!
The defense believes that the victim would have been in this position here. What your answers in fact show is that your own position is as absurd as those you have indicated on the plan. What are you saying? What Lord Zieks is saying, Council, is that your answers are clearly flawed. Well, that's the thing, like oh, well, I put it on the door, so that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I imagine. I knew it. Twice as many chances to be wrong. So the questions are, where did the culprit shoot the victim, and where was the culprit at the time? Well, I don't see why we can't show that someone other than Jeannie could have done it in the storeroom, do you? Yes, that's the right way of looking at it, I suppose. Someone other than Gina in the storeroom. What's the best move here? Should I try again or gather more information first? We try again. If it doesn't work again, I'll just do it again. The defense would like to point out the locations again. Well, you appear to be glutton for punishment. So now, time for some clarity.
Take that!
The defense believes the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. And in answer to the second question, assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time?
Take that!
Because this is the only way it makes sense. He shot him through the hole in the door. Yep, see? It's just that I put the guy on the door. So that, like, I knew why I got it wrong. It's just that I didn't know where specifically they wanted me to show where he was, like, because he was outside the room, that's for certain. But selling cocaine in the open air, the force is there, the dopes is there, yeah, the coast is clear. Excuse me, sorry. Goodness, okay. The culprit shot the victim from outside the storeroom. Continue. Mr. Winterbank died instantly from the bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired? So you are adamant the shot was fired from outside the storeroom. Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony, I pulled my gun on him and then he legged it through the door into the back room. Mr. Winterbank ran away to the door. We have to assume that the door was open at the time. It was at precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life that the brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was in these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom. Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter than himself. Poor man. Shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Of course. Could have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body at an upward trajectory. So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Winterbank.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. You claim the victim was shot as he fled into the room. Do you also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock? But someone else locked the door. Yes, there's someone else who could have locked the door, the storeroom door. Is that so? Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the courts. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside? None other than Gina, right?
Take that!
Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room? For what possible reason? Such actions will only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I am inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel. She's a 17-year-old girl. Yes, that's a tricky one, that, isn't it? Have big notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please. But of course Jeannie would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? She was probably scared. Because, again, she's a 17-year-old girl. What would she care about locked room theories when she's scared for her life? Like, that, literally, that's the only feasible reason. She would lock the room because she's scared. Well, if I was Jeannie in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? See? Oh yes, obviously. Before those two brothers arrived, Mrs. Strahd and Mr. Winterbank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Winterbank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, eh? That's us, bro. If your theory is correct, that will leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then probably only moments later, the victim fled back through the storeroom door hoping to escape danger. Bang! Hit in the back by a bullet, Mr. Winterbank fell on the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? I see where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Winterbank. As soon as that thought struck Mrs. Strahd, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
But I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't golf, we ain't. You gotta believe us. I mean, come on. We never shot no one. That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Me and Mr. Skulkin, Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Winterbank's murder. Well, where does this leave us? You mean to say it wasn't a pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker after all? I should have known it was those two brothers. Look as shady as the dense forest. That was amazing, Bruno. All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now. I know. First time ever. And probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely they have to give a verdict of not... An admirable effort. Well learned friend. What's this now? He's laughing. You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zieks. I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive. I dare say, such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. What? The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly credibly cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw. A fatal flaw? Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing? I say, Lord Van Zieks, might be an idea to explain this bally conjuring trick or whatever it is to the troops on the ground, The fatal flaw of my learned friend's argument is really very simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. By George, count bullets? Oh dear. He noticed them. Huh? What's everyone talking about? Counsel. Yes, sir. Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime. Two bullets. Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, at his arrival at the scene. Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are two firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Winterbank, and the Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed it is. Indeed it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. Never seen this before. I heard of Emily Blunt, but I never seen a movie from her. The Devil Wears Prada. pressure? What's your pressure? Life is depending on how you dress her. Alright. You yourself told the Kotori moments ago that these two brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes. Yes, I did. Oh my goodness. I think you'll find. And if a single bullet was fired from the brother's gun to hit Mr. Sholmes, it means Windermere was not shot by the same gun. Stop. Only one bullet. Stop. Exactly. Yes, as deep in a street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny. I think you're just racist, man. Like, I feel like you're just crazy racist. Order! Pray, forget the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hollow nectar into the public gallery. Lord Van Zieks. But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Michina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can, regrettably, no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She has a past riddled with criminal conduct. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbroker on the night in question with loathsome intent. As we can see beyond doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present. That disc. I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGilded's down to the yard. Thank you very much. No, don't. I'll give it to him. It's mine, that is. Mine. That was terrible. Sorry. I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now. Yes, that music box. McGilded's music box. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Winderbank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket at my add, by brute force and brazen impotence. Good gracious. Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account for her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed, no crime she would not commit. The courts forget that fact at its peril. I see. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc into evidence counsel, as a grim testament to the defendant's character. That was not his voice. What was that? That was not his voice at all. That was so... Wow. So if the devil wear Prada, Adam, Eve were not a I'm in the middle, but a whole lot fresher. Yep, I got it right. Lord Van Zieks, Inspector Gregson? What? Yes, Inspector. We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecuting service, and I think it was agreed that the disc wouldn't be used as evidence. What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zieks at all. I am unaware of any such meeting. But But those are the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord. Indeed. Bailiff. The music box disc has been entered into the court record. A metal disc used to play music in a mechanical box. On the reverse side is a note that reads, "For McGilded." The prosecution has established the accuser's motive, opportunity, and basis of character. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case. I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once. For all of 5 minutes. Oh dear. Wasn't even for 5 minutes, Runa. My lord. I don't know if I'm about to say something at this point. Proceed, Mr. Foreman. Been stumbling about in a bit of a fog up to now, if truth be told, but all of a sudden, the answer is bloody obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it. Oh no. Very well, the court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
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 Oh boy, are you guys ready to do another one? I can't lie. This mechanic can get a little annoying. To where, like, you know, doing it once, okay, that's fine. Doing it twice, I feel like is a bit excessive. Because, mind you, even though it's been like, like what, a week for me? At most, maybe? It's the fact that we had last section, whatever, we had to do a summation. It's fine, you know. I expected it to happen. I expected it to happen early because Ace Attorney has the thing of having the defense attorney starting off on the back foot. Always does it. Always does it. But the fact that it's doing it twice, I know it's supposed to present the notion of like this case is not easy. You are fighting an uphill battle that is even harder than it was with McGilded. But it's like, do we really do this twice? Like, this feels crazy.
We have a consensus among the juries, it seems. When you have eliminated the possible, whatever remains must be the truth.
That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. How dare we use it against us?
Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be. There's only one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windermere. That's beyond any doubt.
Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day, because I know Mr. Naruhodo will always do one, without fail. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other juries ready?
Garrett Squadron is primed and ready for action, sir.
Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. Oh boy. Lock in, Twinjamin. Alright, the jury's contentions.
What's a rogue always a rogue, I say? Different breed to us law-abiding citizens.
As only 2 bullets were fired on the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted.
You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket. Never imagined that simple operation would cause me such grief. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. I am a ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. Very learned individuals. It would seem there is little remaining room for doubt. I have to admit I was bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in the black. But when when it fell apart like a house of cards, I saw that I'd jolly been been hoodwinked. Well, no more. The whole court was turning against me. It's not fair, Iris. A prosecutor's being me. Just because Jeannie's done some things she shouldn't have done in the past doesn't make her a murderer. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's to the truth coming out. Eventually. That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Yes, my lord. Alright, fellas, let's get down to it. Back up here like I never left. The defense's rebuttal. What's a rogue is a rogue, I say. Different breed to us law-abiding citizens.
Hold it!
Just because Mrs. Strahd has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder. Is that what you're saying? Oh, well. Are all members of the British Army so quick to judge? I'll beg your pardon. Are you mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces, the greatest military organization in the world? No. Simply illustrating my point. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or a pickpocket is wrong and dangerous. Well, yes, you have a point though, I suppose. Let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal sort through and through. Can't deny it. When you say that she showed it in her, are you referring to this? Exactly. Trying to swipe that only a day earlier, huh? Or am I mistaken? Not exactly. Given that I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that. I've never actually seen the real thing. Can we have a closer look at it? Oh, yes, of course. I haven't voiced you in forever. Granted, it's because you're dying, but still. Mr. Sholmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he? And he ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe. We still don't know what tune it plays though, do we? But I'd love to see the original. How the original... It's just shading. I'd love to see how the original compares to Hurley's copy. Revealed its disc. Could it be a clue somehow? Perhaps we should examine it in more detail. Three pages. Can you believe this? Oh, Rudo, look! This is blood! Yes, you're right. Just a small smear, but definitely blood. I should feel so I might have noticed that before. And it's time to shine again. I thought I'd be waiting forever. Alright, hold still with that disc, Rudo. Can we get this going quickly, Iris? Hit a flash! Phew. Oh, you look at that. Oh, you look at that. I wonder if you notice. Ooh, a lovely bright shade again. Wait, That color. What is it? It's just that green. It's... This is the first time we've seen that color, is it? The blood samples portfolio has been updated in the court record. As only 2 bullets are found at the scene, I'll say the whole case is done and dusted.
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets that has you convinced. Only 2 bullets are fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When a parlor maid asks me how many are invited for the dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's illogical, I suppose. Although, yes, sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather than like fine china. Rather like the fine china. Because your employer died with knives. So I suppose, if there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I have to reconsider my position. A 3rd bullet somewhere on the scene. Could that be possible? Could it? Because, like, we have the bullet inside a window bank. We have the bullet that went through Holmes and into the calendar. Hold on. Because I know the answer to this. It's just finding out how I get to the answer. Where's the blood samples? Yep. Yep. There is. There is. Okay. I can prove it. Allow me to show you then the 3rd bullet.
Take that!
Or not, I guess. That's cool. Of course.
Hold it!
Fortunately, only 2 bullets were discovered by the police during their investigation. Yes, I know. Right. I don't imagine the good man of Scotland Yard would have overlooked anything. If I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office, well... I should receive a sound scolding, I don't doubt. I should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. Sounds like a crime scene to me. A 3rd bullet. It would completely turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it? I think we'll find another one lying around somewhere. You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket.
Hold it!
There you go. So if I understood correctly, you need 2 pictures. A left eye one and a slightly different right eye one. Exactly. There you can see the scene in 3 dimensions. Like this. So if we have 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them. I think you'll find that no matter how much you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here. Only person who could have shot the victim is that girl in the dock. How can you be so sure of that? Think about it. The Skulkin brothers shot the great detective, didn't they? Yes, that's been mentioned once or twice. Well then, surely it's coming into focus now, isn't it? It's a waste of time. Not gonna change this man's mind anytime soon. Yeah, you can tell, like, when you do these, who you're not changing. Because they always mention it, like, him, you're not changing. Her and her you can change. Or her and him. I think it's gonna be these two, and then the last two. Never imagined that simple operation could cause me such grief. Would you please stop muttering about the things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it's nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Huh? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet had simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable. What do you think? I almost don't want to ask, but the surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on. What was the fella's name now? Herlick? No. Herlock? No. Hairlock. Herlock Sholmes, by any chance? Yes, good lord! It was that Herlock fellow. What? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes? That's right. Using the very latest anesthesia techniques. I might add, it was a fairly major op, I can tell you. This is crazy. There you go. Let me see. The fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. He said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shot. But the funny thing is, went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb and couldn't find a bullet anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw up with my hands. I just stitched the fellow back up. I hate to state the obvious, but yes. Surely that's because the bullet still at the scene of the shooting. The counsel for the defense is correct. As is clearly shown in the photographic print, the bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop, while where the colander was hanging by the door. The bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door. I think you'll find it's quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Huh, what do you think I have, son? Well, juror number 4 is as best I can do. As soon as I saw the wound to this man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back? Of course I did. There wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the bullet had left the body at all. But that's the point. The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere in the man's innards. Which is exactly why I set about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? Somebody please explain how it happened. Somebody please solve the mystery. It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together. Well, I guess. Sounds like we got our man right here. I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There's nothing I do not know about guns.
Hold it!
I thought you were just a tourist. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I'd like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. There's no way he's just a visiting student, a tourist. So you're a ballistics expert. Who knew? I have much experience with guns. Ah. I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme, violent bath of, no, blood of, extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps? Nah, those. Extreme violent bloodbaths. English is very difficult tongue. Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue. Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. There is nothing I do not know. Mystery I cannot solve. Very confident in his knowledge of guns, that's for sure. But, if possible, please only in Russian language. Not very confident in his knowledge of English though, is he? No, still, should bear it in mind. He's our man if there's a mystery about guns or bullets. Van Zieks has managed to convince everyone. We have eliminated the impossible, he said. But he hasn't. If we're going to fight back, we need more material. And we have to fight back. We have to turn this trial around.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I... What? Those two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Oh, a ballistics? What is this? That... Did I get it wrong or not, game? What's going on? Like, these two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Oh, a ballistics expert? Pitting. P-I-T-T. I guess it was just a joke. In the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6. Hello, my name is Villain. Oh goodness, sorry, wow. Wow, I am so cooked. Good lord. Hello, my name is Villain. Pleased to meet you. This apparent contradiction in the facts that is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I had seen very similar situation in Motherland. It was night. There was blizzard. I was on my way along mountain road in freezing cold. Calling. The snow was piling high on both sides of the road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles and they were on dog sleds. That's a no. Don't ask too many questions. I was shuffling behind and I fell down in snow. And the situation was very similar to what I hear today from the doctor. They cannot find bullet in my body. And no sign of, how do you say, exit wound. Then, where did the bullet go? Bullet never hits me.
It grazed him, right? It had to have grazed him.
Well, if it never hits you, why did you fall? Bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side.
What?
One small piece, and now it didn't graze him. Very sharp, broke away from a lump of ice and pierced my body. Made deep wound that looks just like bullet wound.
Good gracious.
Of course, a piece of ice quickly melted inside me. That is a solution to mystery of disappearing bullets.
But doesn't answer the question at all. The shooting happened in a pawnbroker's shop. That's some snowy mountain road in another country. Just an idea, but might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Bruno, where exactly was Hurley shot again? According to the report, in his stomach. Somewhere around this area, I think. Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt. A pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that. Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials. Huh, weird. Of very dangerous chemicals that he uses in his investigations.
Huh? Really? Say it for real.
Doctor, where's the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? The fellow like that had nothing on his person when he arrived at the hospital as far as I remember. If I may. Lord Van Zieks? Well, I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination. I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom. Sorry? As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Ah, thank goodness! I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it has been my safekeeping along with all the other evidence relating to the case. I personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well. Very well. While extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand the prosecution presents the item in question with all speed. Bring forth Mr. Sherlock Holmes's pouch. I see. So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the nights in question, is it? Look at that. One of the vials is broken and the leather around it is scorched black. Almost as if the vial exploded. Exploded. So, that's night. The bullet from the Skokin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. It was a glass vial exploding that caused the fellow's injury. This bullet did not penetrate the victim, but was deflected into a wall of shop. A delightfully complex aroma. Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved, at least. Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of the case remain unaltered. But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man.
Duh. Thank you very much. Glad I could help. Thank you. Due to its bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court was requested this scruffy pouch as evidence. Hurley's pouches are scruffy. Sholmes' pouch has been entered into the court record. The pouch that Mr. Sholmes was wearing around his waist at the time of the shooting. One of the glass files is smashed and there are scorch marks around it. Now, the submission examination. It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinion. Please, my lord, a little more time. After all, it's a piece of evidence. It could be a valuable clue. Can't afford to overlook anything here, Renosuke. There's still a way to turn this around somehow. I'm sure of it. So that was useless. Well, no, not useless. It did have some bearing in the case. You really scorched badly here. Oh, the strap is broken. Look. I just want to see where the bullet hit then. Let me see. There it is. There's the bullet. That's right. That's what Twister had on in the sauce. What the? Iris, look. I have never watched Drink Champs, but it's always an interesting show. DJ Premier, Pete Rock. But how were the broken vial is? Do you see it? Ah, that's the Skulkin Brothers bullet. What a stroke of luck that it hit this pouch. It is an amazing discovery. What this means is, there were 3 bullets fired at Mr. Windibanks that night. We found exactly what the juror was talking about. The 3rd bullet. It's time to press that juror again, I think. The 3rd bullet has been entered into the court record. A projectile we discovered and lodged in Mr. Sholmes' pouch. It caused one of the files to explode, including Mr. Sholmes, injuring Mr. Sholmes. What the heck? What am I talking about? I've been sitting here to destroy you. I wasn't looking when I pressed it. Alright, hold on. No, go back. Go back. I got a bone to pick with you. I got a bone to pick. I got a bone to. Alright. Come out here, young blood. Come on out.
Take
that! Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question at Windibank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired. What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? It It was lodged inside Mr. Jones's pouch. What? That expression of his is so cool.
Yeah, that's so tough.
This pouch was removed from around Mr. Jones's waist before he was taken to the hospital, and since then, it's been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night? Yes, as your lordship has surmised. It hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already knew the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Jones. It clearly visible in the photographic print. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence. Yes, that of Mr. Windenbank and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers. The examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. But that must mean... That's right. We now know on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. He finally got a reaction. It's so funny. Court drama, man. This is so funny. Order! When the summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which the case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter! What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back into the stand. Alright, nigga, come on, speak up. Witnesses. Governor, were you listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination? We was, Governor, we was. Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A 3rd bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it, Gov? I'll make nothing of nothing if I can't help it, but... Is it one of yours? God blimey, Gov, God blimey, not a chance. In that case, did you have an accomplice? What? Never, the Skulkin brothers work alone. It's just the 2 of us. That's a trademark. How soon we forget poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? Lummy, that's a head scratcher. Counsel for the defense. Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The 3rd bullet, the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Thinking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture. Picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear what this 3rd bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. They had another accomplice. On that night at Windenbank's pawnbrokery, the brothers must have been working with a 3rd man. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up for the existence of this accomplice. But the evidence all points to the fact that there was someone else present. Someone carrying a gun.
Objection!
He's gotta be drunk out of his mind if he's drinking this much. An accomplice, he's saying. Pigs will. These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time, there's not been a murmur of a 3rd man. This apparently wraith-like being exists. The course must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. prosecution demands answers on 2 accounts. Firstly, proof, evidence that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of this spurious character. The Skulkins are lying, I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of this person they're hiding? Well, counsel, I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity. In response to the prosecution's demands, my lord, the defense is ready to present answers. The defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. So, my deputy's friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if I will make a difference. If it will make a difference. In that case, counsel, I would like to present the evidence. I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof have you that there was a third intruder at the... oh gosh.
Take that!
The evidence is right here, in this portfolio. By Jove, a portfolio with good, is it? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers by itself? Be more specific. You claim one of those blood samples proves the presence of this third intruder. Well, which one is it? Well, it's this one, actually. What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet's hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a blood stain, my lord. A blood stain? Green blood. Curious even for you. It's the court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature. It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. By the great detective! New invention, stop. Not yet appeared in stories, stop. It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with different elements in people's blood to change its color. Different elements? Of people's blood? Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Oh, that brings a whole extra dimension to looking at blood. Talk of blood and cut room, stop. Very exciting, stop. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Winterpink. Ah, a striking blue. Yes, so you see the green color of this blood stain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop. Now hold fire there, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it? No, it's not unrelated. The date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Winterbank was killed. By golly. Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. And whose blood is it? Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from a gunshot. Oh yes, you see, I can't talk. Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. The third intruder, in fact. Whose identity the court is still wanting to hear. You can't delay this any longer, my lineage friend. Who is this alleged third victim, or intruder? Now, I don't know if any of you are in this stream right now or not, but
someone is lit. Someone is here, or was. Someone was here. So, but yeah, I guess this is more for people in the VOD, right? So, who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? This is like Persona 4, where you gotta find out who the perpetrator is of the fog, right? Who's throwing the people into the TV. This is important as to who do you think it is. Because I know who it is, but I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. If I was playing this game by myself, I would have struggled, but I think I would have got it. Because the person who did it is Mr. Eggert Benedict.
Take that!
The man's name is Eggert Benedict.
Eggert Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, Counsel?
He paid a visit to Winnebago's pawnbroker in the afternoon before the incident took place. When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession.
That's right.
The man identified by the offense, Mr. Eggert Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force.
Broker.
Yes, sir.
I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes. The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give you back my overcoat, you wastrel. And needless to say, any music box disc too. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Can you corroborate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Winnebago for a print showing the fella.
Hey, let's go.
He exists. We know he's real. Take it from one of his red-handed recorder governances. Yes, that's him talking to Winnebago that morning. And you claim this young man, or this man, is the brother's accomplice. Well, Mr. Skulkin, never seen a geezer before in my life. On my life, Gov, on my life, never seen him. Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I'm sure your lordship recalls my little Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can. Then show us the evidence. I agree. We must see the proof that the clean-cut gentleman in his photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is. This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. But now, I'm gonna drag it kicking and... Of course I messed it up. I'm gonna drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom. Are you ready to present your answer to the court then, counsel? Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print, in fact the person I struck the... Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet.
Take that!
There you go. As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Windebanks. Which is when the aforementioned Eggert Benedict appeared in the scene, I believe.
This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. I just witnessed the sun go down in real time. I didn't even realize that it's long since gone down. That's crazy to think about. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. But of course, sir, here's the disc for you. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to the style. Wait a minute, that disc is mine. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. Those protrusions caused Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed, and a resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now. Goodness, a blood stain, is it? My assistant and I have just analyzed the blood stain here in this very courtroom, using my trusty fogger gun. Yes, and we add the results to this portfolio. Well, I say, it's green. It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar. The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Edgar Benedict, who was in Windibanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night. There was someone else there. Look at those two brothers now. They're sweating buckets. Well, what are you talking about? It's boiling in here. My lord, it's the opinion of the defense that Mr. Edgar Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of the law. Sherlock Holmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A god of detection or some such. He's not that much older than you. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court in the law and land. Do you expect us to take you seriously? Examples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned a shade of green. What of it? Here's to your successfully proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color. Well... And pray, don't I even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it. Is he right? Mr. Sholmes concocted a load of rubbish. I don't know, I mean, he's a great detective. What are you talking about? We can't let him get away with that. I knew it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by an official body. But, what other choice do I have? Just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. In other words,
The examination isn't over yet, is it?
Good grief! Did you just say young girl?
And in a summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now.
Yes, she's right. Young lady, you have quite a devious mind.
It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Bruno. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something?
Unbelievable. Mrs. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with.
Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. Bang.
After that shrewd precis of the situation from an entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination is yet to reach its conclusion. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leadings in the matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. So then, state your final decisions in terms.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
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 Not guilty.
What's wrong with these two over here?
Two call guilty and 4 call not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection.
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by our pretender to real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. I'm sorry, Lord Francis, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. Ugh. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible. What? The name of the gentleman gave for himself, Edgar Benedict, is quite clearly false. I don't believe it. Just when I imagined the proof the man was there that night. Just when I managed. Could I say something? Who was that? Please, who spoke? It was me, my lord. Juror number 5. What have you to say, madam? If possible, Inspector. Me, ma'am. I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again. The one in which the gentleman is shown. Right, this one you mean, of Mr. Benedict? Yes. There's no doubt in my mind. Juror number 5. You don't mean to say... You know this man? Yes, I know him. What? No. Good gracious! And yet you chose guilty. You're wild. Order! Juror number 5. How on earth? I am a communications officer. Stop. As you can clearly see. The gentleman in this photograph is, stop, also a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop. A very talented operator, in fact. Stop. You should be in the communications station now. Stop. Tapping away on a telegraph. Stop. Doesn't seem right somehow. I keep putting my finger on why, but doesn't feel right. I suppose we all imagined that Compass would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out that he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night. I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zieks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste, as your lordship bids. The court will recess for 1 hour. When a new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson. Yes, my lord. I shall like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbrokery on the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess. Yes, sir, my lord. Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m. There you go. To be continued. Got a decent ways through. But unfortunately, I will say that I do have to stop there because I can't go on any further. There you go. Yeah, because if I go any further, it would risk running late into the night, and I do have work tomorrow if I hopefully feel better. But I managed to do a stream throughout the week, which is nice. I do still have to do another video before I get today's attorney video, but I should hopefully start working on that one soon because I know I've been slacking on that. Gotta recover from the silent voice video. Unfortunately, it didn't do too well, so gotta try to bounce back as best as I can. It's J. Cole said it in one of his podcasts. I forgot what it was called. Inevitable. He was like, you know, when you feel like you failed, when you feel like you flopped, you don't take a break and assess what happened. You immediately just get back to work and try to make something even better. Because it's not like, oh, I can't believe I failed. It's literally, I can't fail. I can't allow myself to fail because if I do, I'm gonna go hungry. I'm gonna be out in the street. There's no sense of like, I'm comfortable so I can fail. It's okay. No, if I fail, it's over. And like, I know I have a job, so it's not like I'm gonna go hungry if a video fails. I've had videos that failed before. It's just more in the sense that like, that's still my mindset regardless because I can't get complacent. If a video doesn't perform to what's usually expected of my videos, and not just like my expectation, but the algorithm's expectation as well. I doesn't mean it's a bad video, not by any sense of the word, because that silent voice video was good. I enjoyed making it, but it's just more in the sense that like the performance speaks for itself in the sense of like people didn't watch it, and that's fine. I'm not gonna blame people for not watching, but it's a matter of I can't let that stand, you know. I'm gonna try to change the thumbnail, try to change the title, try to rework some things, but if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. That's just something I gotta take on the chin. But you know, we'll get there when we get there, right? We'll get there when we get there. So for now, I do appreciate the support that the video did get. For the people that did watch it, I really appreciate it. Expect a new video sometime like 2 weeks, somewhere around there, 2 to 3 weeks. So be on the lookout for that. And hopefully I'll be able to finish this game in between March. Honestly, like I'm thinking March will be the time I finish it. So we'll see. But yeah, until then, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. It's evening now, I think. So see you all hopefully soon. And until then, this has been Infamous Isaac. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Well, I hope you have a good one. I'm gonna try to feel better. Hopefully, I don't think my sickness was too bad. Hopefully, it didn't impede my acting too much. If anything, it probably made me better.
I can't lie, but it's just a lot of sneezing, so I apologize for that. But yeah, until then, see you on the next